Old-fashioned openers are difficult to turn. Countertop openers are messy and bulky, but the cordless lightweight Toucan stores easily in a drawer.
When you have arthritis, it's hard to open a can. But with Toucan, it does the work for me.
It's gotten harder for me to open cans, but with Toucan, I can do it with the touch of a button.
And Toucan's unique design also removes the toughest bottle cap with ease. It even breaks that tight seal on jars so you can easily twist them off. Guaranteed to be the most incredible opener you've ever owned or your money back. Call and order your Toucan today for just $19.99. And if you call right away, you can get a second Toucan. Just pay a separate fee. And to make this really easy, we'll even ship it to you free. Don't delay. Get your Toucan today.
Call 1-800-213-0177 to get your special offer Toucan can opener. Call now or go to buytoucan.com. So call 1-800-213-0177. That's 1-800-213-0177. This offer is not available in any store. Call now.
Growing up, we were German. We danced in a German dance group. I wore lederhosen. When I first got on Ancestry, I was really surprised that I wasn't finding all of these Germans in my tree. I decided to have my DNA tested through Ancestry DNA. The big surprise was we're not German at all. 52% of my DNA comes from Scotland and Ireland. So I traded in my lederhosen for a kilt.
Ancestry has many paths to discovering your story. Get started for free at Ancestry.com.
Have you ever thought, I could never do that? Have you ever thought, you just didn't have anything left in the tank? Well, you do. Because the courage is already inside.
Nice to be with you for Hour 2. I'm Leland Vittert. Welcome to America's News Headquarters from Washington.
And I'm Elizabeth Pran. Here's what's making headlines right now. The Sheriff's Office in Harris County, Texas, about to have a news conference on the execution-style killing of Deputy Darren Goforth last night. Could we be learning more about this alleged killer whose image was captured on a gas station security camera?
Donald Trump's bringing in some big crowds in Tennessee today, and he is still dominating the polls. Our political panel joins us for a fair and balanced look at his so-called flip-flops.
And remembering the hundreds who lost their lives during Hurricane Katrina 10 years ago this weekend.
A Fox News alert as we are standing by for a news conference out of Harris County, Texas, that is near Houston. We're going to bring it to you live as we learn more about a crime that has shocked and saddened that community. The execution-style killing of one of their finest, Houston deputy, 47-year-old Darren Goforth, a husband, a father of two. He was shot multiple times from behind while pumping gas. The sheriff there, Ron Hickman, overnight says he cannot recall another incident in that city that is so cold-blooded and, for that matter, so cowardly. Will Carr following it all for us before this news conference begins. Hi, Will.
Hi, Leland. And that news conference set to begin any minute now, and we're really looking for some clarification because there's been conflicting reports throughout the course of the morning. What we know as of right now is authorities are talking to a person of interest, a man who they say they're questioning who has not been charged. Now, they say this shooting was a straight-up assassination. They say it was an execution-style murder. They say the suspect walked up behind Harris County Deputy Darren Goforth, who had just finished filling up his car at a gas station last night, and without warning or any apparent motive, opened fire, shooting Goforth in the head and the back. The suspect then standing over the deputy and continued firing while he was on the ground. Goforth died at the scene. This morning, Harris County Sheriff's Office tweeted, "We awoke this morning hoping it was all a bad dream. Our hearts are full of grief. Thank you for prayers."
It strikes us in the heart to simply be a target because you wear a badge and for no other reason hit you where you live.
It's horrifying. It's an act of cowardice and brutality, the likes of which I've never seen before.
Surveillance video showed that the suspect took off in a Ford Ranger pickup truck. That's the same type of truck that authorities say they found outside of the person of interest house in Northwest Houston. Again, they're questioning that man right now, but as of now, no charges. Leland.
Last hour, we had Rod Wheeler on talking about how so many police officers really feel like they are embattled, like they are targeted because they are wearing a badge. Are local police worried about that? Is there any kind of warnings out to officers to watch their back?
Well, after the shooting, we did hear from the president of the local law enforcement union there in Harris County, and he says that they have been warned about potential violence against police officers because of the national sentiment going on against law enforcement. And take a look at some of the numbers. The number of law enforcement killed in 2013, shot and killed 27. That number jumped in 2014 to 41. Deputy Goforth is the 23rd member of law enforcement who has died after being shot this year. The Harris County Sheriff came out after the shooting and said that members of law enforcement all across the country, Leland, need to be on high alert because you never know when the next act of violence could take place.
Well, you do never know. Rod Wheeler also saying that he thought this might be a hate crime. Obviously, we'll learn more in this news conference that's coming up. You stand by as well, Will, and we'll bring it to you live. Will Carr in Los Angeles. Thanks, Will. Now for some perspective and a look back. There is a monument here in Washington dedicated to officers who lost their lives in the service to their communities in the line of duty. The names of at least 21 men so far this year will be engraved on that stone in a very somber and solemn ceremony. 6 officers have been gunned down this month, 3 of them just this week. Deputy Darren Goforth had spent 10 years on the job with the Harris County Sheriff's Department before he died last night. Officer Henry Nelson, age 51, was responding to reports of a triple stabbing when he was shot in Sunset, Louisiana. Louisiana State Trooper Stephen Vincent was shot by a sawed-off shotgun when he checked on a vehicle in a ditch. He was 43. In Nevada, Deputy Sheriff Carl Howell was ambushed when he responded to a domestic battery call in East Carson City. He left behind a wife and 4 children, along with 2 stepchildren. Officer Thomas LaValle of Shreveport, Louisiana, he was only 29 years old when he was shot and killed answering a domestic dispute call. And in Memphis, 33-year-old Officer Sean Bolton was killed during a drug bust. 6 officers so far just this month. Here's the news conference now in Houston. We'll take it to you live.
Everybody's phone goes back.
This is the sheriff of Houston who we heard from a little bit earlier overnight after his deputy was shot. He had some incredibly strong words about the fact that his officer who was wearing a badge, obviously that badge had now become a target. He's there, and obviously we hope to learn more about a possible suspect in this case, in this shooting of execution of one of his deputies.
Yeah, that's actually Harris County Sheriff Ron Hickman. We heard him last night after the shooting say he can't recall another incident so cold-blooded and so cowardly. What we do know is that Darren Goforth had just had a routine traffic incident, a violation earlier in the evening. He was filling up his patrol car, and he was shot not only in the back by an alleged shooter, but then the alleged shooter approached him and continued shooting him. So let's listen in now to Harris County Sheriff Ron Hickman.
Good afternoon. Today, the Harris County Sheriff's Office mourns the loss of one of our own. Deputy Darren Goforth was senselessly struck down while innocently pumping gas at a Chevron station at West Road in Telge in northwest Harris County yesterday evening. We are reaching out to the community for assistance in capturing the violent individual responsible for the senseless death of Deputy Goforth. From video retrieved from the location, we know that other individuals drove up to the service station while this incident was going on. We asked them to come forth with information that will assist us in this investigation. I plead today for the public's assistance in our efforts to bring the suspects to justice he so rightfully deserves. Any witnesses to the event or persons with information about the suspect are asked to come forward and assist investigators in our efforts. We respectfully ask the media to respect the privacy of the family during this time of tragic loss. The Harris County Sheriff's Office and the Houston law enforcement community, so many gathered around me here today, collectively grieve the loss of our brother, Deputy Goforth, a loving father, husband, son, and committed law enforcement officer. We've heard that a number of media outlets are reaching out directly to the family at home. We'd ask that they respect their privacy and give them their opportunity to grieve. The community's outpouring of love, thoughts, and prayers are still needed as we come to grips with the gravity of this tragedy. We've been overwhelmed by support from the community, people that we've never met, don't know, may never see again, to offer subsistence, food, water, and support for the deputies who continue to protect our community. I'll ask our District Attorney Devin Anderson for comments.
Thanks, Sheriff. The Harris County District Attorney's Office extends its condolences to the Goforth family. We have worked all night assisting in this investigation, and we will continue to do that until the person is brought to justice. I echo the Sheriff's request to please come forward if you have any information. It is time for the silent majority in this country to support law enforcement. There are a few bad apples in every profession. That does not mean that there should be open warfare declared on law enforcement. The vast majority of officers are there to do the right thing, are there because they care about their community and want to make it a safer place. What happened last night is an assault on the very fabric of society. It is not anything that we can tolerate. It is time to come forward and support law enforcement and condemn this atrocious act. So please come forward if you have any information. We need to bring this killer to justice. At this time, Rick Hartley with the 100 Club would like to say a few words.
Thank you, Devin. On behalf of the 30,000 members of the 100 Club, we'd like the community to know that we are reaching out to help the Goforth family. As soon as it is logistically feasible, we will be bringing a $20,000 check to the family to help with immediate needs. And when the time is right, we will be there to do a needs assessment to determine all of the financial needs of that family. All too often, when we have tragedies like this, we see youngsters, and this case is no different. We have 5 and 12-year-old children that are left behind. Those 30,000 members of the 100 Club will make sure that those youngsters have an opportunity to go to the college of their choice when the time is appropriate. I'd like to also just add, if the sheriff so needs it, that Crime Stoppers and the 100 Club have partnered together to double the reward that will bring about the needed information to solve this case. We're prepared to step forward when that information from the sheriff is brought to our attention to double the reward to $10,000 if needed. Sheriff.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you, DA. As you can see, we're surrounded by the local law enforcement community, also supported by state and federal agencies as well. This is an issue that strikes at the heart of law enforcement and the criminal justice community. I doubt there are any resources that will be left unapplied, no stone unturned. I will tell you that we have recovered some evidence. We do have video from the scene. So this is an ongoing investigation, but one we absolutely want to do right. We are supported by the entire justice community in our efforts to make sure this individual is brought to the justice they so richly deserve. You know, we are talking to people. We do have some information, but as this investigation proceeds, we will provide information as available. But we ask that you please respect the family's opportunity for grief and to give them time. I will echo also what the DA mentioned is some of the very dangerous national rhetoric that's out there today. Our system of justice absolutely requires law enforcement to be present to protect our community. So at any point when the rhetoric ramps up to the point where calculated, cold-blooded assassination of police officers happened, this rhetoric has gotten out of control. We've heard Black Lives Matter, all lives matter. Well, cops' lives matter too. So why don't we just drop the qualifier and just say lives matter and take that to the bank? Thank you for your attendance.
Thank you, Sheriff, what's the working motive in this? I think you're hitting it. Jen actually said it.
The working motive for this at this point is absolute madness. We've not found any provocation, any motivation that we can put our finger on. So it's all speculation at this point.
The theory investigators are working on right now is that he was shot because he was wearing a badge.
Absolutely. At this point, his only target was because he's wearing a uniform. It's unfortunate there are not many civilian occupations you can point to where you can be shot for the clothes you wear.
Sheriff, have you taken anybody into custody in regards to this?
No, we've not taken anybody into custody. We have people we're talking to, trying to follow through methodically. We don't want to even jump into conclusions. We want to make sure that we take the steps in the proper order and follow the evidence to a logical, legal, and proper conclusion.
And can you tell us whether the deputy was by himself? We've heard about a woman who was with him at the time. Do you have any information on that?
As far as I know, the deputy was by himself.
Do you know?
Simply walking back to his car. The video demonstrates that.
Any new descriptions on vehicle or the suspect?
We had a description of a red pickup, and other than what's been shown already, nothing new on that.
Still holds?
Yes.
Any connection to the incendiary, the comments you mentioned, the incendiary comments that have been made in terms of that motivating this attack, or are you questioning any people from those groups about that?
Not at this point. We always follow that rhetoric. We always make sure that we kind of check the temperature or climate and make sure that there aren't specific motivations. But as I mentioned earlier, we won't leave any stone unturned. And until we know with absolute certainty what the motivation is, it's all speculation.
Sheriff, are you taking any additional steps with your deputies to ensure their safety, any changes in policy, anything like that?
I think the logical sense is that all law enforcement will take extra precaution in being alert and aware of your surroundings. Make sure that, especially at night, that they're aware and make sure they back each other up, make sure that they run in teams. I think law enforcement will be doing that across the country. Anytime you have a clearly unprovoked attack, then you have to make sure you protect yourself.
Sheriff, we were told prior to the shooting he had investigated a minor accident. Have the folks involved in that incident, have they been excluded from suspicion? Have you talked to them?
I can't say that. All I know is there was a pretty good separation in time from the time he finished the accident until he was getting gas. So it doesn't look at the outset that they're involved.
The home that was being searched near the crime scene, what connection does that have to this?
Just through the vehicle. That's all.
Have we confirmed that that's actually the truck?
No, we've not.
Sheriff, is there any indication that this was anyone other than a lone gunman?
Not at this point. That's all we know from the video is that a lone gunman.
Sheriff, can you give us an idea of what the last 12 to 16 hours have been for your deputies, detectives out there trying to catch this guy?
Well, as you can imagine, the impact, this is the kind of thing that drives you right down to your soul. I mean, it strikes at the heart of who we are as peace officers. I mean, our job is to carry the badge and gun and protect everybody else. And now we've got to fall back, regroup, and take care of one of our own. So, I mean, this hits us right where the heart. This is not an incident where, an individual was provoked by a confrontation with an officer. This is just, a cold-blooded execution. So how do you protect against that? I mean, it causes you to doubt humanity at large.
Sheriff, are you guys still talking to Mr. Miles, and is he cooperating?
I don't know who Mr. Mileston is.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Any other information?
Yeah, that's enough. We'll put out a statement later as more information progresses.
Any other information will come directly from us through our Nixle. And if any other updates that you will be brought out. You will be informed, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
A press conference now wrapping up in Houston. You could tell an emotional and, for that matter, fairly angry Sheriff Ron Hickman talking about his deputy who was gunned down. And we learned probably the most significant part of this is that earlier they had questioned somebody and there was some debate over whether it was a suspect or a person of interest or who this person was. And what you got from this news conference is, for that matter, they have no idea there in Houston who shot and killed Deputy Darren Goforth, left 2 kids orphaned, a wife behind. They do have a surveillance picture, which you would think would be the most important piece of evidence, at least that they have so far in this case, and that is a picture of the suspect. Let's bring in Rod Wheeler, former D.C. homicide detective who's been listening along with us and offered some thoughts earlier. We'll get to the issue of Cops Lives Matter, All Lives Matter, and the assault on the fabric of society from the DA. But I'm most interested right now, Rod, in your thoughts on the investigation.
Well, I think this investigation is still a very fluid investigation. As you know, Leland, this situation just occurred less than 24 hours ago. I find it a little suspicious, or not really suspicious, that the police department has not identified a suspect yet, because earlier I thought they had actually made an arrest. But it seems to me that they are working very diligently to try to find out who committed this cowardly ambush against this police officer. But the other thing, real quickly, that I picked up from the press conference is that the police chief is not sure whether or not this one gunman acted alone or not. Did he have some accomplices with him? Did others see this guy get out of a car that could have had other people in it? And these are the kind of questions, Leland, that the investigators are aggressively pursuing right now so that they can try to bring this guy behind bars, because this guy is still out, apparently. And as long as he's out, that community is in jeopardy.
Yeah, and Rod, we did hear from Harris County Sheriff Ron Hickman, and he said because of the surveillance video that you're looking at right now, they do have indications that there were a number of other witnesses. So we really heard a call to help. What's going on behind the scenes right now? What do these investigators need from the public right now?
Well, you know, Elizabeth, that's an excellent question. And here's why I say that, because I've spoken with some sources down in that area, just so that the viewers know where this shooting took place at that gas station. That's a very busy intersection. And on a Friday night like last night, that area was packed with people. So they know that a lot of folks saw this actual shooting. What they don't know is who those folks are. So that's why, Elizabeth, they're encouraging citizens from down there to come forward. They have that picture of the one guy. It's a little blurry, but even if you just remotely think you might know who that person is, come forward, call the cops. You can remain anonymous so that they can get this guy off the street and hopefully find the weapon that he used. Now, the chief did mention in this press conference that they did get some evidence. He didn't say what that evidence was or is, but again, they're still looking for evidence, and they're going to continue to look for this guy until they can find him.
Okay, Rod Wheeler joining us live. Thank you for your perspective, Rod. We appreciate it.
Sure. Thank you.
And still ahead, they talk, we shop. Will decisions by China's political leaders squeeze the buying power of U.S. consumers? And getting stung by a stingray and not even knowing it, why police eavesdropping devices could end up revealing some bad guys. We'll have the story coming up.
Big Dave just upgraded everybody with the latest smartphones and devices, had them all set up and arranged for 24/7 support. But he didn't buy the devices. He got mobility as a service from Sprint Business. So he pays for the whole enchilada per person per month for way less. But did anybody notice? Did anyone even think how huge this is? Mobility as a service, a bold new way to get wireless.
It's back to school time, so make time for you.
Stay tuned for a limited-time TV offer from Nutrisystem.
I'm Melissa Joan Hart, and I lost 40 pounds on Nutrisystem.
Be one of the first 500 callers and save $50 right now.
I'm Marie, and I lost 50 pounds on Nutrisystem.
Lose weight fast with Nutrisystem's Fast 5 Plus. Lose 5 pounds in your first week and 1 inch off your waist, or your money back guaranteed.
I have so much more energy.
Order your 28-day program right now and get Fast 5 Plus, including 1 week of energizing shakes to rev your metabolism free, and 1 week of NutriCrush shakes to crush hunger free. Don't forget, be one of the first 500 callers and save $50 right now.
This is your moment. Don't wait. Start looking and feeling great today.
Call 888-412-SIZE right now and get Fast 5 Plus with shakes free and save $50.
I started with another mortgage company. Then I found New Day USA. I got their phone number from TV. I just took the phone and made a phone call. Kevin, he had sympathy. He told me he understood my situation. And since I was a veteran, he said, we are here to help you. And they proved it. They proved it. You saw the contract today. God, I am so excited. It makes me a proud husband to my wife, a proud father to my kids, and it brings us together closer. Our family is now closer. Everybody feels like we have something. We have a roof of our own. This is an amazing feeling.
A presidential prediction. John rates the field from worst to first. The surprising things you will learn about the candidates. It's a must-see edition of Stossel tonight.
Amazing Cascade video walls from Prism. Learn more at prism.com.
This school year, 95% of students will go online to do their homework. Can your internet keep up? Only Xfinity from Comcast delivers the fastest, most reliable in-home Wi-Fi. X1 Triple Play and save when you bundle. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit Xfinity.com today.
Well, Donald Trump continues to dominate the presidential field.
Thank you so much for reading my lines for me.
It happens sometimes.
Leland. Like Leland said, Donald Trump is dominating the GOP field. New polls this week puts Trump on top with a 16-point lead, but potential voters have so far given him a pass on a series of reversals and flip-flops that would normally sink a candidate. The real estate mogul argues he has evolved. Fox News correspondent Doug McKelway looks at these changes and if Trump will be able to keep his lead.
Read my lips.
3 years after presidential candidate George H.W. Bush said that, he signed into law an increase on recording device royalties. Opponents relentlessly hounded him with accusations of flip-flopping on taxes. Fair or not, the flip-flop accusation has damaged many a candidate.
I actually did vote for the $87 billion before I voted against it.
Do you think a mandating people to buy insurance, is the right tool?
Brett, I don't know how many hundred times I've said this too. This is an unusual interview. All right, let's do it again.
If you like your health care plan, you'll be able to keep your health care plan.
Donald Trump now sits high atop the Republican field, undamaged by numerous flip-flops, on abortion, for example.
I'm very pro-choice. I hate the concept of abortion.
So I'm pro-life, but with the caveats, and you have to have with the caveats.
On campaign financing.
I'm using my own money. I'm not using the lobbyists. I'm not using donors. I don't care. I'm really rich.
We have a lot of small contributors. I would even take big contributors as long as they don't expect anything.
Trump once favored the legalization of drugs. Now he's opposed. He once opposed a flat tax proposed by Steve Forbes. Now he wants a simpler code. He once proposed a ban on assault weapons and supported longer wait times for guns. He no longer does. He once supported the privatization of Social Security. Now he doesn't. Why are his supporters so forgiving?
He sounds like you're talking to maybe your uncle who is just a little cranky, but is telling it like it is. People relate to that. He's funny.
I think a lot of other conservatives who are supporting him are just not aware of all of the liberal positions he's taken over the years. And until somebody spends a lot of money on ads publicizing those positions, they're not going to know about them.
I've evolved on many issues over the years, and you know who else has is Ronald Reagan evolved on many issues.
Reagan was a one-time Democrat who defended his switch to the GOP, saying, quote, "I didn't leave the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party left me." Also frequently hounded for many policy and party switches, Winston Churchill fired back at his critics, quote, "Some men change their party for the sake of their principles, others their principles for the sake of their party." In Washington, Doug McKelway, Fox News.
Nice quote about Churchill. Let's bring in our Fair and Balanced panel. Angela McGlowan, Fox News contributor, and radio show host Mark Levine. All right, so Angela, yes. Do you think that the flip-flops are a matter of principle or a matter of politics for Donald Trump?
Well, Donald Trump is
political, but he's not a politician. And that's why people are attracted to him. Everybody loves success, Leland. So I think people evolve. Like Donald Trump said, I was once a Democrat. I changed to be a Republican at the age of 23. So we evolve in what we believe, and that includes political ideology.
Mark, in the event that Mr. Trump is the front runner, does these kinds of flip-flops really help a potential Democratic nominee in a debate?
They may help the Democrat, but they won't harm his big popularity among Republicans. The people who support Donald Trump don't care what his positions are. They don't support him because of his positions. They support him because he's an amiable, filthy rich, rude, ignorant blowhard. They like him. Basically, he's Stephen Colbert. In fact, he's the caricature that Stephen Colbert used to play for all these years.
So Stephen Colbert,
Mark, I so often wonder what you're really thinking, and finally now we found out. It's fabulous. But you think about what the American people think. Look at the Quinnipiac, what they call the word cloud. So they ask people, what's the first word that comes to mind when you say this person's name? This is the word cloud that came out. And Mark, it's not much different than what you just said, although a couple of them are actually censored, so we can't say them on TV. Clown, idiot, crazy, blowhard, arrogant, outspoken. I think I see one joke, showman. I see one word in there that's good, and that would be honest. So how do people like him, Mark, under your theory, if they have all of these words associated with
Here's
him?
why they like him. They don't like him for his policies. They don't care about his policies. They like him because they're opposed to the way politics are right now. They hate the Republican establishment. They don't like Republicans in Congress. They don't like Jeb Bush, who's a pale imitation of his brother and his tired policies. Republicans are tired of their leaders. They want to throw all the bums out. And Donald Trump expresses that angst,
Mark,
that anger in their hearts.
I've had people from my community who are Democrats who like Trump. So, don't say people don't.
Angela, before we get to whether Democrats like Trump, I'm interested in this. To Mark's point, in terms of so many Republicans who like him because he's anti-establishment, is the establishment in the Republican Party starting to get worried that Donald Trump actually presents a chance, a real fight for Jeb Bush and for Marco Rubio and for Walker, the so-called establishment candidates, and that all of a sudden the Republican nomination could go to Donald Trump?
The Republican nomination is not going to go to Donald Trump. Donald Trump does not set the platform for the Republican Party, and no, the establishment is not worried. Now, I don't like the fact that you have candidates that are now actually giving Trump more attention. I wish that our candidates would actually talk about the issues and not even mention Trump. And that's why people like Trump more, because now some of our other candidates seem like they're following Trump's lead.
Here's how you know that Donald Trump is a protest candidate rather than a real candidate.
Okay.
Number two is Ben Carson, also not an establishment candidate. People aren't voting for Trump because they like Donald Trump. I mean, he's amiable, he's fun to watch. They're voting for Donald Trump, supporting him in the polls because they don't like the Republican establishment, and that's why Ben Carson's doing well as well.
Interesting point on Ben Carson. Angela, last word.
Listen, this is a long political season, and the American people are tired of being sick and tired, and they don't like politicians. That's why Trump is exciting folks right now.
The oh-so-diplomatic Mark Levine and his descriptions. Angela McGlowan, slightly more diplomatic. We appreciate it. Thank you very much for both of you guys' insights.
Thank you.
All the best.
Thanks.
All right, great debate there. So-called stingrays trailing suspected bad guys. Why a police tracking device is causing headaches for prosecutors.
Toenail fungus? Don't hide it. Tackle it with FDA-approved Jublia. Jublia is a prescription medicine proven to treat toenail fungus. Use Jublia as instructed by your doctor. Once applied, Jublia gets to the site of infection by going under and around the nail. Most common side effects include ingrown toenail, application site redness, itching, swelling, burning or stinging, blisters, and pain. Tackle it. Ask your doctor if Jublia is right for you. Larger size available.
Under the roof of a home or business, damage can happen. When it does, turn to the specialists who put help in the palm of your hand. The Ready app and emergency response plans from 1-800-SERVPRO. Like it never even happened.
Save all week during our last chance summer sale. Right now, select suits are only $199.99. Plus, buy one, get one free on even more of your fashionable favorites. Only at Men's Warehouse.
Go get help. Right now.
If you're a cat, you ignore people. It's what you do.
Come on.
If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
Go on, kitty.
Look familiar? A drawer full of dull knives. Tomato squish, bread loaf squash, and a dull blade just chews up meat. Don't toss your favorite dull knives. Get Swifty Sharp, the incredible new cordless motorized blade sharpener that restores the razor edge on any blade in seconds. Look, this knife is dull, but to really destroy the edge, we cut into a rock again and again. But never fear, Swifty Sharp is here. Just press the power button, insert the blade in the guide, and slide. Now hone that edge once, twice, and those blade precision slices as fast as 1, 2, 3. With Swifty Sharp, it's as easy as can be. Simply place the blade in the guide and slide. The guide holds the blade at the perfect angle as the professional-grade, high-speed sharpening stone rotates at sharpening and honing the blade, restoring the razor-sharp edge. And under the guide is a catch tray to grab the shavings that fall away. Swifty Sharp is magic on chef's knives, carving knives, bread knives, steak knives, paring knives, fillet knives, cheese knives, and even choppers and cleavers. Rotate the guide to sharpen all kinds of scissors and another guide for screwdrivers and small hand tools. And remove the guide to sharpen more blades, hedge clipper blades, and to make garden shears sharper than they've been in years. And its compact design stores easily in a cabinet or drawer. Hand sharpening is dangerous, and electric sharpeners are bulky and can cost $100 or more. Swifty Sharp is safe, compact, and gives you precision power sharpening at a fraction of the price. And now the Swifty Sharp is yours for $14.99. Call now or go to SwiftySharp.com. And as a special bonus, you'll also receive these multi-purpose stainless steel shears, ideal for cutting vegetables and all your cutting and crafting projects. The shears are a $15 value, but they're yours for just an additional $4.95 processing and handling. You get the Swifty Sharp motorized blade sharpener and the stainless steel shears for one great price. Here's how to order.
To order Swifty Sharp, call 1-800-960-6093. That's 1-800-960-6093 or visit SwiftySharp.com.
You want to hike 2,000 miles?
I really don't think you have anything to worry about.
Bryson never took a risk.
You're not doing this alone.
Katz never played it safe.
So why'd you come?
There's a couple of outstanding warrants.
Open up!
That's really not something you can run from.
Actually, you kind of can.
On September 2nd, two old friends are changing their lives by going the distance.
Everyone thinks we're going to quit like most people.
We're not most people.
Hey, you boys want to ride?
Sure do.
A Walk in the Woods, rated R. Everywhere September 2nd.
Nearly 2,000 Baltimore cases could be thrown out after an investigation shows police secretly used a cell phone tracking device to help solve crimes. Defense lawyers are planning to ask judges to throw out these convictions. This is an older version of the Stingray device. It looks like a normal cell phone tower, but it's not. It's collecting cell phone identification and location data, unbeknownst to the phone's user. The American Civil Liberty Union says dozens of police departments across the U.S. use this powerful technology. But is this device violating the Fourth Amendment right, protecting citizens from unlawful searches and seizures? Let's bring in former D.C. homicide detective and Fox News contributor Rod Wheeler. Excuse my mispronunciation, Rod. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Sure, absolutely.
I want you to explain to us how these Stingray devices work for those of us who may not be familiar with them, and also how widespread they are.
Okay, the device itself is called the Stingray. A lot of people call it a digital tracking device or a digital search device. And the way it basically works in a nutshell is it's sort of like the app Find My iPhone. You have it on the iPhone. And what it does, it intercepts the GPS location from where that phone came from or where that signal from the phone is coming from. So real quickly, here's how it works. You take the device, which is about the size of a small microwave oven, Elizabeth, and you put the device in between the cell phone tower and the signal. And what happens is the device will capture that cell phone signal and location. And see, that's why, Elizabeth, it's been very successfully used by police departments, because what we can do is quickly determine if the bad guy, where the bad guy is located, but based on his GPS locations.
Okay, but I've seen a number of local investigation pieces being done for years, really, and
right.
they always sort of come to a dead end. Is this legal here? Because we know there's a non-disclosure agreement between the manufacturer based in Florida and all of the police stations across the nation that are utilizing this type of technology.
That's right. But the reason that non-disclosure agreement is in place in the first place is because this technology has been used for years by the military, and it's also been used by the National Security Agency. So only about the past 8 to 10 years have local police departments started using this technology. So that's why that NDA, which is a non-disclosure agreement, is in place. But a lot of organizations, such as the ACLU, Elizabeth, are arguing now that this device is a violation of an individual's Fourth Amendment rights, which is the right to be free from an unreasonable search and seizure. Now, that's out for debate. What a lot of people are saying, and this is so important for the viewers to understand, what a lot of people are saying is that what needs to happen is police needs to get a search warrant from a judge before they use this device. Well, that's going to take time. So it's up for debate as to whether or not the legality of this device, but I can tell you that the device is a very powerful tool being used by police departments all across the country.
Right, a very powerful tool. And in so many cases, we see state prosecutors really working hand in hand with police departments. But
Right.
Is this going to be causing some trouble in the courts? Is this going to be rubbing some prosecutors the wrong way?
It is going to cause trouble. As a matter of fact, some city jurisdictions have already thrown out some cases where this device has been used because of that same argument that this was a violation of their Fourth Amendment. But going forward, I would say police departments are going to continue to use the device, and this thing is just going to have to be sorted out in the court of law. But again, at the end of the day, it really helps us, especially Elizabeth, in tracking missing persons and kidnappings and things like that. It's a real powerful, useful device.
Very powerful. Well, Rod Wheeler, thank you so much. We have certainly utilized you a lot today, and we are very grateful for your expertise.
Sure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care.
Coming up, the world has been rocked by market manipulations by China's Communist Party leaders. We're going to take a closer look at how China's money policy is affecting your shopping cart and your 401k right here in America.
Recognize that swing? No turn, over the top, weight on the back foot. Now that spells disaster. Hi, I'm William Devane, and that was a disaster. But not half as bad as the market crash of 2008. The government bailed out the banks, but who bailed us out? I didn't get any money. Did anyone replace what you lost in your retirement? Lesson learned. Protect yourself now and transfer your existing IRAs to a Roslyn Capital Gold and Silver IRA. Don't let the disasters of the past cripple your future. Get a Gold and Silver IRA from Roslyn Capital. What's in your safe?
Call now to get a free gold kit, a free silver kit, and an IRA transfer kit. Call 800-630-8900. 800-630-8900. 800-630-8900.
Around age 7, the glucose metabolism in a dog's brain begins to change.
I'd like to see her go back to her more, social side. She literally started changing. It was shocking. She's much more aware.
She loves the food.
The difference has been incredible. She wants to learn things.
Purina Pro Plan Bright Mind promotes alertness and mental sharpness in dogs 7 and older. Purina Pro Plan, nutrition that performs.
It's back to school time. You think your car smells fine, but your passengers smell this. Eliminate odors you've gone nose blind to for up to 30 days with the Febreze car vent clip. Break out the Febreze and breathe happy.
I'm really into this car, but how do I know if I'm getting a good deal? I tell TrueCar my zip and which car I want, and TrueCar shows the range of prices people in my area actually paid for the same car, so I know if I'm getting a great price. This is how car buying was always meant to be. This is TrueCar.
Before I had the shooting, burning, pins and needles of diabetic nerve pain, these feet grew up in a family of boys. Married my high school sweetheart and pursued a degree in education. But I couldn't bear my diabetic nerve pain any longer. So I talked to my doctor, and she prescribed Lyrica.
Nerve damage from diabetes causes diabetic nerve pain. Lyrica is FDA approved to treat this pain. Lyrica may cause serious allergic reactions or suicidal thoughts or actions. Tell your doctor right away if you have these, new or worsening depression, or unusual changes in mood or behavior, or swelling, trouble breathing, rash, hives, blisters, muscle pain with fever, tired feeling, or blurry vision. Common side effects are dizziness, sleepiness, weight gain, and swelling of hands, legs, and feet. Don't drink alcohol while taking Lyrica. Don't drive or use machinery until you know how Lyrica Lyrica affects you. Those who have had a drug or alcohol problem may be more likely to misuse Lyrica.
Now I have less diabetic nerve pain, and I love helping first graders put their best foot forward.
Ask your doctor about Lyrica.
Is Interstate the best battery in the world? Interstate batteries, outrageously dependable.
What Super Polygrip does for me is it keeps the food out. Before, those little pieces would get in between my dentures and my gum, and it was uncomfortable.
Just a few dabs is clinically proven to seal out more food particles.
Super Polygrip is part of my life now.
Joseph A. Bank presents Super Saturday. Up to 75% off sportswear. Short sleeve sport shirts are 2 for $34.99. Long sleeve traveler sport shirts are 3 for $99. Super Saturday with Preview Day Friday. Joseph A. Bank. The new tradition since 1905.
It was unquestionably a wild week on Wall Street. Folks said they'd never seen anything like it. The Dow tried to recover after opening at 1,000 points down on Monday morning. And there was hope. We saw 2 days of gains on Wednesday and Thursday after some announcements from China. Peter Morisi, former U.S. International Trade Commission chief and professor of economics at the University of Maryland, joins us now. As we talked, really what sort of drove this was the bursting of the Chinese stock market bubble. I guess the bigger question is, can the Chinese stock market bubble bursting take us down?
Well, it could, but it didn't. Investors came to their senses on Wednesday and Thursday before the Chinese put liquidity in, and the U.S. markets recovered. You know, China can greatly affect us, but I don't think it can destroy us.
May not be able to destroy us, but as China continues to hold more and more of our debt, and as U.S. companies are more and more dependent on being able to sell to the Chinese market, the second largest economy now in the world, do the Chinese have the ability to not only sort of challenge us militarily as they have in different ways, but also challenge us economically in terms of economic warfare?
Well, certainly the Chinese market is important, but now the Chinese have become dependent on us. It used to be T-shirts, but now the Chinese want to develop technology. They really can't get along without Twitter, Microsoft, Apple, and so forth.
Interesting. Okay, so where are we now in terms of, we had the 1,000-point drop on Monday. Everybody felt like they got punched in the gut for a while. Things have recovered a little bit. Is this sort of just a blip on the radar that's gone, or is there a bull market or bear market decision to be made?
No, this is not a blip. We're going to continue to have a lot of turbulence, but it looks as though the U.S. market will recover because growth is picking up in Europe and the United States. And American technology is so vital to China, they're simply going to have to buy the stuff, and American companies will profit.
Are the Chinese at some point going to have to get their fiscal and monetary house in policy in terms of their currency and their stock market regulations and those kinds of things that have in many ways led to these huge up and down fluctuations?
All along, the Chinese have thumbed their nose at Western economic type regulations and saying they had a better model. I think that's out the window. Either they get more like us when it comes to regulating and developing their markets, or they fail.
Interesting. Well, we will see if that happens, and if they fail, that'd be a pretty big story as well. Peter Morisi, appreciate your insight, sir. Thank you.
Nice to be with you.
Good to be with you as well, sir. Elizabeth?
Lifting spirits a decade after the devastation, how faith and fellowship transformed Katrina's exile community hundreds of miles away.
The uniqueness of America is found in the compassion of its citizenry, and this storm brought that out a lot.
Don't get caught off guard by bad weather again. My Radar is a free mobile app that can instantly tell you what the weather is doing right now. My Radar gives you instant access to high-definition radar and forecasts both locally and around the country. When severe weather strikes, My Radar will alert you so you know where and when the storm is headed. From tornadoes to hurricanes, My Radar will keep you ahead of the threat. Whether it's a day at the beach, starting a road trip, or getting your daily run in, My Radar can help you plan your day. My Radar, available on iPhone, Android, and Windows. Download My Radar today.
It seems there's a different treatment for every itch. But thanks to the magic of Blue Emu Anti-Itch, you can clean out your cabinet. Blue Emu Anti-Itch Cream is your new all-in-one solution. It has the strongest form of hydrocortisone available without a prescription. And only Blue Emu Anti-Itch contains Cord Emu Complex, made with soothing aloe, vitamin E, and penetrating emu oil. The name you've trusted for over 10 years is now the answer for every itch. New Blue Emu with hydrocortisone. One cream, every itch.
Get a good look at the redesigned Nissan Maxima and the redesigned Murano.
Plus, get great offers on our most exciting lineup ever during Nissan's Bottom Line Model Year-End event. For a limited time on select models, get up to $1,000 bonus cash on top of existing offers.
Bonus cash ends soon.
Shop your local Nissan store and choosenissan.com. Nissan, innovation that excites.
A Chris Christie exclusive. With a crowded and noisy pack of contenders, how do you get your message out to voters? The New Jersey governor talks strategy on the next Fox News Sunday.
Into the Acura. It's that kind of summer event.
Visit your Northern California Acura dealer for attractive offers on the ILX.
You know what this beach needs?
CPR?
RPMs. More hustle, hop. Now it's Muscle Beach. Put this against your ear and you can hear a Hemi.
Whoa! Hurry in for $1,000 bonus cash at the Dodge Summer Clearance Event. Well-qualified current lessees of competitive vehicles get a low-mileage lease on Dodge Charger SXT or Challenger SXT for $239 a month.
Jonathan and Drew are back.
What the heck is that?
With new homes. We need help. New families.
I like this house.
New wows.
Oh my goodness.
New moves. Buying and selling, Wednesday night at 9, only on HGTV.
Brought to you by Scandinavian Designs. Stop in today and receive 20% off during our Crafted in America sale. Now through Labor Day. Visit ScandinavianDesigns.com for details.
Mornings. Wonderful, crazy mornings. We figure you probably don't have time to wait on hold. That's why at Xfinity, we're hard at work building new apps, like this one, that lets you choose a time for us to call you. So instead of waiting on hold, we'll call you when things are just as wonderful, but a little less crazy. We're doing everything we can to give you the best experience possible, because we should fit into your life, not the other way around.
New Orleans natives have spent a decade rebuilding their lives after Hurricane Katrina. In Houston, just a few hundred miles away, more than hundreds of families who have fled the devastation area have found comfort and faith in each other. They worship together every Sunday at Franklin Avenue Baptist Church in Houston. Franklin Avenue in Houston is the sister church to the original one in New Orleans, where many of these families shared their lives together before the hurricane. Dr. Shannon Verrett is the pastor at Franklin Avenue Baptist Church in Houston, and he joins us now. Dr. Verrett, thank you so much for joining us. We're very grateful.
Thank you for inviting me.
Now, tell me about how members of your congregation are observing this very emotional weekend.
We are actually in a time of reflection, blessings, and celebration. We are spending our time together just reflecting collectively as a church body and a group of individuals coming from New Orleans, just reflecting on what God has brought us through over these past 10 years. Go
ahead.
We're actually celebrating the 10 years in terms of our lives being rebuilt and being renewed spiritually as well, and just celebrating life here in Houston.
Yeah, and you talked about spirituality. One of the pieces that I read said that a lot of members of the church still feel like their spiritual roots remain in New Orleans. Do you feel that way?
Well, our spiritual roots started in New Orleans, but we're rebuilding and having new spiritual roots that are actually being solidified here in Houston because of the relationship that we first have with God, and then the relationship that we're able to share with each other in fellowship. We're being strengthened each and every day.
You and I were talking in the break, and you said hundreds, if not thousands, relocated to the area. And I want to ask you, what motivated you to stay in Texas personally, and what did you hear from other members of your congregation who decided to stay?
Well, for me personally, my wife experienced the demise of her mother, her aunt, and her uncle, and she basically said she didn't want to return back to the city. There were great opportunities here for our 3 younger children. At that time, my oldest son was in the Marine Corps, and all of the opportunities in terms of school and the support that our children received in transition, we've had to pay for some of those things in the city of New Orleans. Many of our members at the church, they've experienced some of the exact same things. Excellent school systems in various parts of the Houston area. Right. Support for children, and we're able to find jobs fairly quickly and receiving promotions and really excelling here in Houston.
And it's certainly nice to hear you were welcomed with open arms. But looking forward, I want to ask you, what emotions do you feel when you hear about the rebuilding of New Orleans, when you hear that 9.5 million people visited the city, when before Katrina hit, about 10 million people visited? So really, the city is coming back to life. How does that make you feel?
It puts a smile on my face. New Orleans will always be home, and we're excited about the rebuilding and the upward mobility that the city is experiencing, and we're excited about that. And many of us still have family members there. We travel, we visit. We are diehard Saints fans, although the Houstonians have a problem with that sometimes. But we're just excited, and we celebrate Houston, and we celebrate New Orleans as well.
Okay, but at the same time, and I only have a couple seconds left, Dr. Verrett, it certainly is the tale of 2 cities. Is there still a lot of work that needs to be done?
Absolutely. A whole lot of work for us here because we're currently looking for property to build our own sanctuary so we can be independent, so we can be a blessing to the city of Houston in addressing some of the societal ills here in the city, such as feeding the homeless and just ministering to those who feel abandoned. So we want to be a part of that as well.
Well, Pastor Shannon Verrett, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right, coming up, your thoughts on efforts to prevent Chick-fil-A from opening at the Denver airport. As you might imagine, we have gotten some rather passionate responses on that one. And strike up the band, strike up the guitar? Well, not really. It's the Air Guitar Championships. We'll take you there and see who won the 20th anniversary.
Hello, everybody. I'm Uma Pemaraju, and coming up in just a few minutes in the next hour of America's News Headquarters, we will fill you in on the investigation into the latest fatal shooting of a police officer, this one in Texas. Plus, what should we make of these letters from ex-military brass to Congress, one in favor, another in opposition to the Iran nuke deal? I'll ask Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters. And 3 children escaping their parents' sight with dreams of going on a joyride. Who they encountered just moments after putting the pedal to the metal. Plus, we'll have an exclusive with Governor Mike Huckabee on his presidential bid. All that's coming up in less than 10 minutes at the top of the hour. Join me.
When Salonpas began in Japan in 1934, a single patch created the category of pain relief. Now, 80 years later, Salonpas has evolved into a complete family of pain relievers, perfect for back, muscle, or joint pain. Salonpas, for targeted relief.
Big Dave just upgraded everybody with the latest smartphones and devices, had them all set up and arranged for 24/7 support. But he didn't buy the devices. He got mobility as a service from Sprint Business. So he pays for the whole enchilada per person per month for way less. But did anybody notice? Did anyone even think how huge this is? Mobility as a service, a bold new way to get wireless.
Is poor posture straining your neck and back? Does sitting all day cause pain that won't go away? Introducing Royal Posture, the amazing back support that perfectly aligns your spine to help relieve pain. Just slip the straps over your shoulders and secure them helps energize your neck, shoulders, and back. The stretchable neoprene, nylon, and cotton blend is so breathable it feels like a second skin. It's the perfect travel companion for car trips or long-haul truckers. Bulky braces can cost over $100. Now enjoy Royal Posture for just $19.99. But wait, call now and you can double the offer. Just pay a separate fee. We're so sure you'll love Royal Posture, we're offering a 100% money-back guarantee. Now get your Royal Posture for $19.99.
Call 1-800-592-3151 to get the Royal Posture special offer. But you must call now or go online to www.getroyalposture.com. So call 1-800-592-3151. That's 1-800-592-3151. Call now.
Here is a simple math problem. 2 trains leave St. Louis for Albuquerque at the same time. Same cargo, same size, same power. Which one arrives first? Hint, it's not the one on the left. The speedy guy on the right is part of an intelligent system that creates the optimal trip profile for all trains on the line. And the one on the left? Well, it looks like it'll be counting cows for a while. So maybe the same things aren't quite the same. GE Software. Get connected, get insights, get optimized.
Americans, we're living longer than ever. As we age, certain nutrients become especially important. From the makers of One-A-Day 50 Plus, new One-A-Day Proactive 65 Plus, with high-potency vitamin B12 and more vitamin D.
On Twitter, we asked, should Chick-fil-A be allowed to open up in the Denver airport? Billy says they aren't forcing their faith on customers. Whoever said you had to agree with them to eat there. Randy tweets they should be able to open. I do not agree with their CEO's views, but we cannot discriminate.
And thousands gathered in Finland to crown a new 2015 air guitar world champion. Yesterday, Kirill Your Daddy Blumenkratz became the first Russian to win the title, a huge global competition. In this 20th anniversary year, 2 Americans finished second. Thank you so much for joining us on America's News Headquarters. We'll be back next week.
Are we really making progress in the U.S.-led fight against ISIS, or are reports of progress against these terrorists being hyped up? The Pentagon now investigating if the intelligence has been skewed somewhere between the front lines and the White House. Plus, we're remembering a somber anniversary as we reflect on America's response to the thousands of people left devastated a decade ago as Hurricane Katrina ravaged the Gulf Coast. We're live in New Orleans as that proud city celebrates its rebirth. Plus,
the world should be uniting in helping 3,000 girls that are going to get used as human shields in the very near future.